Welcome to my top 10 American steam locomotives. In this video, I'll take you on a journey through time to explore my top 10 favorite American steam locomotives. These engines hold a special place in my heart because of their incredible engineering, historical significance, and the sheer power they represent. Let's dive in and discover what makes each of these steam giants so remarkable. So sit back, relax, and let the whistle blow as we embark on this exciting journey. Number 10, we have the undisputed heavyweight champion of steam, the Union Pacific Big Boy. This absolute unit of a locomotive was so big, it needed not one but two fireboxes to keep its massive boiler fed. Speaking of size, these things were 132 feet long. That's longer than a Boeing 737. The big boys were designed for one thing, and one thing only. Hauling freight over the Wasatch Mountains. And haul they did, pulling trains that were over a mile long with surprising grace. These locomotives were so powerful, they say you could hear them coming from miles away. The 9000. This locomotive was a bit of an oddball, with its 412 two-wheel arrangement. That's right, I said 12 driving wheels. The 9000 was designed for speed and efficiency, and it delivered on both fronts. The 9000 wasn't just about brute force, it was also a surprisingly smooth ride. At number 8, we're heading down south to the Sunshine State with the Florida East Coast Railway's mountain engines. These workhorses were the backbone of the FEC, hauling everything from citrus fruits to tourists down the Florida peninsula. Florida isn't exactly known for its mountains. These locomotives were originally designed for mountainous terrain, but they found a second home in the flatlands of Florida, pulling relatively light loads through the Florida countryside. But hey, at least they were reliable. We have the Shay locomotive, a true testament to American ingenuity. Picture this. It's the late 19th century, and you're a lumberjack trying to get massive logs out of dense forests. Roads are practically non-existent, and even horses are struggling. What do? Well, if you're Ephraim Shay, you invent a locomotive that's basically a steam-powered mountain goat. Seriously. These things were designed to climb anything. The Shay's secret weapon was its unique gear-driven system, which allowed it to navigate incredibly steep grades and tight curves. They weren't pretty, but they were effective. There were several classes of Shay locomotives, from the small and nimble Class A to the absolute behemoth that was the Class D. Shays were the workhorses of the logging industry. Hold on to your hats, folks, because at number 6, we're talking speed. The GNR C1 Atlantic 442. This British-born beauty was a true thoroughbred of the rails. Now, you might be wondering why we're including a British locomotive on a list of American giants. Well, the Atlantic had a significant impact on locomotive design in the US, inspiring a whole generation of high-speed engines. With its sleek lines and 442-wheel arrangement, the Atlantic was built for speed. It could reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour, which was practically unheard of in the early 1900s. This was the era when automobiles were just starting to gain popularity, and the Atlantic could outrun most of them. But the Atlantic wasn't just about speed. It was also known for its smooth ride and elegant design. Number 5 is a locomotive that was as powerful as it was iconic. The Pennsylvania Railroad's J1 Texas 210-4. This beast of a machine was designed for one thing, to haul heavy freight at high speeds. And it did just that, becoming one of the most successful freight locomotives ever built. The Texas was a true workhorse, capable of pulling massive freight trains at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. That might not sound like much today, but back then, It was like something out of a science fiction novel. The Texas was a testament to American engineering and a symbol of the Pennsylvania Railroad's dominance in the early to mid-20th century. It was the muscle car of steam locomotives, all power and performance. Just try not to get in its way when it's got a schedule to keep. At number 4, the New York Central J3A Hudson. This iconic locomotive was the flagship of the New York Central Railroad, and it was designed to impress. With its streamlined design and distinctive shovel-nose smokebox, the Hudson was a head-turner. It was the kind of locomotive that made people stop and stare as it glided effortlessly along the tracks. But the Hudson wasn't just about looks. It was also a powerful and capable machine. The Hudson was the epitome of Art Deco design, and it became a symbol of the New York Central's commitment to speed, efficiency, and style. Number 3 spot, the Southern Pacific Cab Forward. Now, most steam locomotives have the cab at the back, right? Well, the engineers at Southern Pacific decided to throw that rulebook out the window. They put the cab at the front, hence the name Cab Forward. Why? Because they needed a way to keep the smoke and steam out of the engineer's face when they were traveling through tunnels and snow sheds. I mean, it makes sense. Who wants a face full of hot steam? It's not exactly a spa treatment, but it does look a little strange. The Cab Forward was a unique solution to a unique problem, and it became a beloved symbol of the Southern Pacific Railroad. Number 2, the Norfolk and Western Class A. This magnificent machine was one of the last steam locomotives built in the United States, and it was a true marvel of engineering. It was designed for both speed and power, and it delivered on both fronts. The Class A could reach speeds of over 70 miles per hour while hauling heavy freight trains, and it did it all with a grace and efficiency that was almost unheard of. The Class A was a fitting end to an era, and it remains a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the men and women who designed, built, and operated these incredible machines. Number 1 spot on our list, the Challenger Type 4664. This behemoth was designed for one thing: hauling heavy freight over the Rocky Mountains. And it did just that, becoming one of the most successful and iconic locomotives in American railroad history. The Challenger was a true marvel of engineering. With its massive size, incredible power, and innovative design, it was capable of hauling freight trains that were over 2 miles long. It was the kind of locomotive that made people stop and stare in awe. It was a symbol of American ingenuity and determination, and it played a vital role in the development of the American West. The Challenger Type 4664, a fitting champion for our list of the top 10 American steam locomotives. Well, there you have it, folks. Our top 10 favorite American steam locomotives. From the mighty big boy to the innovative Cab Forward, these engines help shape the American landscape and capture the imagination of generations. We hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane and maybe even learned a thing or two about these mechanical marvels. Don't forget to let us know in the comments which locomotive was your favorite and why. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep chugging along.